everyone, Tracy here. It's time for another organizing video. It's time to defunkify the 6x6 papers. Now they want me to tackle pattern paper. Now I have 12x12 pattern paper up there, and I have my 6x6 pattern papers down there. So actually I also have pattern paper in there, and I noticed there's some 12x12s or some 6x6 pattern papers on the floor. So you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I may need another container. So I'm going to take, I will start with, which going to be harder? Probably the 6x6. I'm going to take all the 6x6 containers, and I am, oh, here's some more pattern paper. Oh my, 6x6. Obviously I have a little bit of an addiction to purchasing them, not so much using them. So I'm going to take all these containers and I'm going to put them in the rec room. And a lot of them, like, I have them labeled like pastel, whimsical, seasonal, and vintage. I know that they've been mixed up. So I'm going to go through all those, and hopefully that doesn't take too long. So this is all my 6x6 and 8x8 paper packs. I am going to go through every single one because I know some are mixed up. Like this one here, I would say this is a pastel, and it is in with the whimsicals. So we'll move it over there. And I noticed that some of them, such as the pastels, are full. They're so full that I don't think I can even add another package in there. So I might have to make, and even whimsical, look at whimsicals are pretty full. So I might have to, mind you, that's a vintage, that one there. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to sort all of these out. I think that is all of my smaller pads of paper. I know I have a couple in another area, but they are being used for my daughter's wedding album. So I will go through all these, sort them out, and see if I need any other containers. And I'm not going to, I don't think I'm going to buy any more containers. I think I'm just going to find what I have. If they don't match, so be it. And see where I can go from here. So that wasn't too painful. I did have to get a couple containers for my 8x8 or 8.5x8.5 paper packs. I kept the labels the same. Whimsical, mind you, these might as well be brights, but these are whimsical. And then these are whimsical, and they are vintage 8x8s or 8.5x8.5. And there's the vintage ones. And then these ones here, these are the pastels. And these are seasonal, which are anything to do, looks like fall or Halloween, Christmas, winter. And at the back I even have some Valentines, even though Valentines can be with the brights. But I figured, you know what, I had more room in the seasonal, so I put them in there. And then this is for the 8.5x8.5 or 8x8 paper packs for the pastel and for the seasonal. And the reason I put these two together is how they're going to sit on my shelf. And look, I only found 2 doubles of the same. So I put double on here, and what I do is if I don't use it by a certain time, then I gift it to one of my friends for part of their Christmas gift or birthday gift or whatever. So I'm going to put those in their places, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. So here are all of my 6x6 paper pads organized. So I have my whimsical on there, and then I have my pastel below, and then underneath I have the 8x8 for the whimsical and the pastels, or 8.5x8.5, whichever size they are. And then on this side I have the vintage, the seasonal, and then the 8x8 or 8.5x8.5 underneath there. And the 2 bottom ones, I really don't like them on the floor. I'm in a basement and I'm always scared of flooding because I've heard lots of people have had flooding and had lots of their supplies ruined. Mind you, my whole floor is covered right now, but that's beside the point. I'm trying to fix that. But I usually carried my cutesy girl stamps I would put under there, and they're in plastic containers. I just moved them over to the side here. So those were the containers I had. I have another 2 set of those, and I had those under there, but I want to try and keep everything together. My papers close at hand, all my stamps together, all my punches together, so it's just easier instead of looking all over the room. So I will figure out a different way to store my stamps, but I haven't even gotten through those, so I'm not even going to worry about them. I'm just going to try and focus on one area. So the next thing to focus on is my 12 by 12, and seriously, that is scary. For one thing, I don't think I can carry those tubs out because they're too heavy because they're totally full of paper. Like, yeah. So on Wookie Mouse and on the 52-week workroom challenge, they did not have 6x6 paper pads in there, but I wrote them in. They had paper pads by collection, and they had just pattern papers. And I don't keep any pattern papers separately. If I buy pattern paper, I usually buy a few sheets and make it into a kit. So I replaced that one with my 6x6 papers. So now I have to work on here, which is, yeah, I'm not looking forward to this one at all. So let's see what happens. So there is the start. I've done so far my scraps and my 6x6 papers. So thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you all have a very creative and organized day. Now go and defunkify something. Bye now.